That sounded vaguely Mickey Mousey. Good morning, beautiful people, and welcome to not Disneyland, but still one of the funnest places on earth. My name is Justin Taylor. You are at Firestorm Freerunning and Acrobatics. I don't know why I always want to say that with a little thing on the end with acrobatics, but there you go. We are here, and today we are going to be learning how to climb up a wall and get back down safely. Mostly, we're taking what we learned in our level 1 or white rank curriculum, and what we actually went over last week, our jumping to cat and half cat. We're going to learn how to go from our hanging cat and muscle ourselves up to our half cat position, and how to go from our half cat or mounted on a wall and slide down to that cat position so we can get up on a wall safely and get back down. Are you guys ready to go? Because I know that I am. So let's take this little wall. Whoa! Oh, I feel so fancy right here. I'm going to turn around and we're going to be learning how to slide down and also how to get back up that wall, so you can get up and down and all around town. Let's begin with our 60-second breakdown. You guys ready to go? Oh yeah! All right. Truth be told, the 60-second one is a little difficult because there are a lot of variations for this. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna break down a quick 60-second on how to get up and 60 seconds on how to get down, and try to hit as many of the different variations as possible, or at least the main ones, okay? So we're gonna start on the up, which means I need to get down. Yeah, maybe, okay, no dance party today. You can dance on your own. It's just a little more sad. All right, we're gonna start over here. I'm gonna get as close as possible. Check out my coach's shirt. Makes me feel fancy. So, we're gonna start with our 60-second breakdown on climbing up the wall. Here we go. I'm starting in my cat position. For the more advanced one, I'm gonna drop a leg, drive that knee up. See how only my fingertips are on here? As I drive the knee and hit that kind of like dead weight section, I'm gonna slide my hands so they're on top nice and flat, lean forward, push up to my muscle up position. Now, that can be very difficult if you're just first starting, all right? What we can do right here is lift our legs up and plant from an elbow to a flat hand right here. This is called a chicken wing. I do a second chicken wing. It's important that my elbows are on top or this will not work. From here, I use my toes. I walk up the wall, pulling myself in, lay down. This is my beached whale position. Notice no hands, no feet. My body weight is holding me. I slide my hands back to my sides, toes up on the wall, and I just do a nice little dip, push myself up, and from there, I can mount myself on top. That is the strong way and the beginning way to do my climb up the wall. All right, now we're gonna do the exact opposite. Woo! You guys ready? Sweet! 60 seconds again, because why not? So we're gonna start right here in our half cat position. Notice my toes are up, super important. Now, if you are fairly strong and confident with this, I can basically dip down, lean back, I slide to the fingers, notice my toes are on the wall. I like to split step. That keeps me nice and safe, and I can slide down the wall. Be careful as you transfer your hands from here down to here, that you have a strong grip. If you slip off, because your feet are in front of you, you will fall flat to your back. That will not be fun. Funny, but not fun. I only have a few seconds left, I'm sure. The starting way is to do the exact opposite of our chicken wing, just in reverse. I'm gonna start here in my half cat. Lean forward and lay on my stomach. I bring my hands together. Flat hands, elbows to the edge. All right here. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shift sideways so I can stay close to the wall and so I can pop my booty at you. I'll shift the other way. Don't look at my booty. Keeping myself as close to the wall as possible. Sliding down from here. I bring one hand in my grip position, second hand here, keeping myself as close to the wall as possible. Remember, it's just like a big heavy weight. If I hold it in my hand close to me, whoo, it's very easy. If I stick it out here, oh, it becomes heavy and heavier, I start to fall. The wall is your body, you are the weight. Keep yourself close to the wall. If I keep my legs in front of me, because of the distance here, you can see how far it keeps me from the wall. Very hard to come down. If I shift myself sideways, I stay close to the wall when I come down. That was way too much additional information for a 60-second breakdown. I screwed that one up. So with your hands, most people when they hang, they're hanging with just kind of the top few knuckles right here. You can see this is pretty common. I've got my first knuckle and my second knuckle, and usually the second knuckle is where most people are hanging from. And this is just very simple, and it works pretty well. In truth though, if you have the flexibility of your hand, going all the way to your third, your primary knuckles right here, and hanging from there will give you not only a lot more grip strength and pulling strength, but notice this, as I get to here, I can very easily slide my hand and begin to push myself up. If I'm here, there's no way I can do a dip like this with my fingers. I'm gonna fall or I'm gonna break all my fingers. So when we're doing our climb up, if you can begin practicing like this with your full fingers all the way on top, you're gonna get a lot more strength. It is more difficult in the beginning. It's gonna feel really weird. You're not gonna like it, but holy crap, if you practice like this for a few weeks, you're gonna see a monumental difference in your ability to not only climb up, but that explosive strength as you get to the top of your climb. So start with what works best for you, but if you can work towards that, I really, really recommend it. Now, as we start to climb up, if we're not doing our chicken wing, if we're not and pulling ourselves up, which is where almost everybody starts, no problem with that at all. But if you're already past that point, here's an important thing you have to keep in mind. There are two parts to climbing up to the top of the wall from our cat to our half cat position. One of them is that climb to here. Once I get to here though, you'll notice I'm no longer pulling down, now I'm transferring and pushing up like a dip, which means my hands have to change position, all right? I can't go from here with my fingers and then slowly push myself up, all right? It's just not gonna work on my wrist. So for most people, once we get to here, you're gonna have to slide that hand forward, get it on top. Now I'm ready to dip myself up. The easiest way to do that, if you're not doing the chicken wing, is to give yourself a little bit of kind of like that dead weight. And what I mean by that is, if you guys have ever swung on a bar, on a swing set, whatever, right when you get to the very front of your swing or the back of your swing, for that split second, you're weightless, right? You just kind of float there. What we want to do is we want to recreate that feeling. During that little second, a little half second of dead floatiness, that's when we want to move our hands. We don't want to try to be moving our hands while I'm holding my weight, right? Because all of a sudden I'm just taking one arm away, fall to my death. No good. So what I want you guys to remember, and we're gonna look over here at the big wall because it'll make a little more sense for you guys, is when I get to that point, okay, if I climb up to here and then try to transfer my hands, oh, you can see how difficult that is. So it's important that I have one leg hanging, drive that knee, and at the top, right when I get to here, you see I'm kind of floating, right then, whoop, that's when I swap the hands to this position, lean forward. It's hard to dip from out here. I lean forward. Now all I'm doing is just lifting my chest up. And then from here you can safety up, you can Euro step or Kong up, whatever makes you a happy camper. But you really got to get that knee drive at the top of the knee drive. That's when we slide the hands and lean our weight forward over the hands to be able to do our dip position. Sound good? Oh yeah, I love how you guys always nod. It's almost like the tens and tens of you watching are paying attention. I feel touched. So I'm gonna do a quick little wall run to my cat position. You're gonna notice when I do this, I come up. From here, I've got my hanging leg. I'm gonna drive that leg, and you can see my fingers right here are gonna switch over as I get to the top of my drive to my flat hand position. From here, I'm gonna lean forward, toes still on the wall, push myself up for my dip, and from here I can use whatever technique I want to mount on top of the wall. The biggest one for this, if you're strong enough to do a dip and you're strong enough to do the muscle up, all you have to do really here is keep at the top of the knee drive. When you hit that dead weight position, that dead air position, is sliding the hands very quickly and pulling yourself into the wall like we talked about earlier. Now on the way down, this one is actually really fast, really simple. It just takes a good amount of strength and gripping down on the wall the entire time so you don't peel and slip off. No fun for anybody. So when I come here, I'm in my half cat position. For this one, all I'm gonna do is actually begin to lean back. You're gonna notice I'm gonna slide my knees up, toes on the wall. I want my toes to take as much friction as they can to slow me down here as I slide into the position. Notice my arms are still bent. I've got one leg really high, keeping me close. If my toes are down here, I'm gonna slide and slam into the wall. As much fun as that is to watch, I don't want to participate in that. So I keep one foot up nice and high, both feet dragging and gripping and pushing into the wall the whole way down. And the entire time as my hands slide from here into this position, I'm gripping down. If I'm loose, they're gonna come right off and then I'm gonna peel. So this one, just like the muscle up, I actually think this one is nice and easy. You just have to be strong enough and have a good grip on the wall with your shoes. One other thing you can do, I'm gonna climb back up real quick. That's a lie. There's actually no staircase here. I'm just doing that elevator thing that people do. I don't know what the term for it is. Last one, you can do the exact same thing. This is actually my personal preference if I'm not going for insane amounts of speed, which is doing the same thing, no chicken wing, but you'll notice right as I get down, I can bend close, I shift, so I'm close to the wall, slide down, then come back out and drop myself down. It keeps me closer to the wall, so there's less weight and force on my body. It's easier to do. The nice thing is, if I do it correctly, I can do it pretty much as quick as the other version. I just go here, and I can drop straight down, and there I am. By doing that little shift as I drop, and then twisting myself back to the wall, I'm dropping just as fast as I did this way, but it keeps me so close, there's a lot less force, and I feel like I weigh less. Keeps me stronger longer, doesn't take as much energy. If you're doing it to build strength though, I recommend doing it here, because 5 of those is gonna be the same as 10 of these versions for building strength. That little twist there, it's gonna be harder on your body. You're gonna get a lot stronger, a lot faster. And then you can walk around doing this like Brian Lee.
What?
For anybody who watches Martial Club videos, and you should, Brian Lee, he just, all day long, it's amazing. Go watch Martial Club, go do it. Now, let's talk about le chicken wing. This one is where almost everybody starts. The really cool thing is, because of the way this one works, it does require, like most things, a certain degree of strength, but it requires like 1/10 of the strength as the normal climb up where we're muscling ourselves, okay? This one's more about technique and allowing physics to do the work as opposed to having your muscles do the work. This one, I've had kids as young as 3 or 4 that can totally do this on a 4-foot wall, simply because they learn how to do the technique. So let's get started. We're hanging here, right? We're in our cat position. We all know with our cat position, our feet are up on the wall, toes on the wall, knees off the wall. You can have your feet together, staggered, whatever. I recommend when you're climbing, keep your feet staggered, one above the other, because then you can drive the knee. You can step up. If your feet are together, it leans you a little further away from the wall. Like a heavy weight, you're further away, you weigh more. No good. So when you're first starting, get yourself close. So from here, all I have to do is pull myself up to the top of a pull-up, or as close as I can get, and get my hand on top of here. I want you to notice, because this is one very small thing that makes all the difference in the world. My elbow to my flat hand, never a fist. Flat hand is completely on top. What happens for most people is they come like this. See how my elbow is technically on top, but it's right on the edge? Right there, yeah? Or it's a little off like this. I have to push this elbow down to lift the rest of my body up. If my elbow's over the edge and I push down on my elbow, hand comes up. There's nothing to push down there that lifts me up. It just takes my hand off and then I fall. This is a very common one that I see. So don't get the arm far forward. From here, there's no leverage to lift myself up. I need to be right here against the edge of this wall, but I need the elbow at least 1 inch or 2 on top so I can push down. If I'm right here like this, technically it's on top, but as soon as I roll and start to push, you notice it's off. And then I go down, and all I'm doing is this right here is all bone, and I'm doing it on the edge right there. No good. So I get my one hand. Now, notice, because I'm right here, I can turn my body a little sideways, which holds me closer to the wall. So I don't want to be really far away like this. This is very difficult. The closer I am to the wall, I'm shrugging my shoulder into my neck, and I'm pulling myself in really close. I can even turn my body to get my body, whoop, really close to this wall. Once I'm here, this, especially when it's squished together, it's one big solid muscly unit holding me onto the wall. It's It's making me much stronger. At that point, I'm gonna take this hand, I'm gonna slide one hand over the other, right here. Now my other elbow's on there. Again, if I push and extend my shoulders and stuff out, I'm far away from the wall. This, I've got my feet on the wall right now. This is still hard to hold. My feet are on the wall right now. I'm really close, this is easier. Now what happens for most people though is you're gonna be down here, right? We got there, we go here, I'm still below the wall. At this point, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shrug my shoulders in and my chin forward. And what I'm gonna do is start pulling my elbows into my ribs. Now, I don't wanna pull my elbows in my ribs like this. What's really gonna be happening is, it's more like as I'm shrugging, I'm pulling my ribs in towards the edge right here. Now, like anything else, the more of my weight I get over this object, the easier it's gonna be. There's less my muscles have to hold. So as I pull myself in, I'm gonna lean forward. Now here's where the flat hands come in handy. Once I get to here, I can lay on myself, boop, on these flat hands. Right? A lot of people like to roll them over because right here, if you lean forward, you're kind of twisting on, it doesn't feel too good. You can also, once you get up here, slide the hands, it doesn't matter. Look, I've only got my chest on here, not even my stomach. No hands or feet needed. My feet are off the ground, off the wall. Does all the work for me. But what's really important, I see this all the time, is when you're really strenuous, you're working really hard, you have the tendency to like clench your jaw, clench your muscles, clench your fists. If you do this, not only when your body weight comes down will it be shoving the edge of your knuckles directly in the wood, which does not feel good, but you're gonna have these big giant hands punching into your stomach and into all your organs with your body weight. And if you need lunch money, you should beat up other people, not yourself. Doesn't make much sense. So flat hands, you can lay on these flat hands. It won't hurt your knuckles, it won't hurt your hands, won't hurt your stomach or your organs. Keep them flat. Come over here to the side real quick, or come over the top. I just want you guys to see my feet as I do this, all right? As I climb up this wall right here, and I'm doing this, this can be very difficult in the beginning, so use your toes on the wall and walk yourself up until, again, you can see just the chest and this top of my stomach is on the wall. Nothing else is needed. From here, if I'm still pretty far back, I can use my toes, boop, little push forward until I'm at the point where Superman. All right, I slide my hands back to my sides, fingers facing forward, keeping my toes up, and now I'm in my half cat. From here, it's very simple, as we know, to lift my knee to the outside, plant that foot. Opposite handed foot is our safety position, whether it's a safety up, safety vault, safety down, whatever. I can stand up, bring my foot, and I mounted the 4-foot wall. I am a champion. I am a god among men. You can like make my arms look bigger in post, right? So I look really jacked. You're gonna put SpongeBob arms on me, aren't you? I know. I want that to happen so badly. So now we've gotten on top of our object, we have mounted it, and that is the chicken wing technique on the way up. Let's hit our chicken wing on the way back down. It's pretty much the same, but there is a small fundamental change on the way down from on the way up. That's really important. When you're going up, you are fighting gravity, so you're going really slowly and using your strength and getting yourself up there. When you come down, although it is a lot easier for your muscles because you're not having to fight gravity, gravity is pulling you down, which means it's going to put a lot more stress on you a lot more quickly. You have to be careful you don't slide down and slip off the wall. It is very common when people learn going down to their cat position, they will lean back, fingers come off the wall, they land on their butt. I feel bad because I'm going to make the same joke that I always do about this being really funny, because it always is. But you just really don't want to participate in that, especially above concrete or anything. Not going to feel good. I've done that many times. I highly recommend against it. So I'm going to climb up on the big wall right here. I'm going to have you guys stand down here so you can see my feet, and I will try to talk towards the camera as best as possible. Ta-da! I'm an orange rank in stair climbing. It's no big deal. All right, as you guys learned in your level 1 of your white rank parkour, we can do our sit, half turn to half cat. Yeah, here I am. Now, when I come down to my chicken wing, from here, the easiest way to do it, if I try to drop down onto my chicken wing, that can be really painful on my elbow. So I lay on my stomach, flat hands on top of each other, pull my elbows back, and slide in my chicken wing. From here, like we talked about before, I'm gonna bring one chicken wing in nice and close, This time you can actually cheat. I don't know if you guys can see from here, but my elbow is way deeper into the wall than it was before, just so I can keep my armpit close and make it a little easier. But when I come down from this position, notice how I've turned myself sideways to stay close to the wall. I'm not out here like I was before. I come here, and as I slide this other hand from my chicken wing over, I keep myself in close, and at the bottom, then I turn myself back forward in that cat position, all right? That's just gonna make it a lot easier right here to bring myself down into my cat position. If I come right here, and I keep my feet straight forward, okay, I'm right there, and I go, you can see I slide much faster. My weight is further away, which exponentially increases the amount of force being pulled down, the amount of weight it feels like I'm holding. It's gonna slam my butt into the ground. I'm gonna peel off the wall, and everyone's gonna laugh at me. And in the twos and twos of comments, they'll make fun of me and I'll cry, it'll be awkward. All right, so that is the chicken wing version up and down. I'm gonna grab a drink of water. We're gonna get back into it. Soon, my hair will be as long as Wesley's and I can do a hair whip, but I'm gonna need a little more practice first. All right, that was our wall climb up and back down from our half cat to our cat position and from our cat to our half cat. We talked about our chicken wing technique, keeping you nice and close to the wall to make it easier to get up if you don't quite yet have the strength to do a pure muscle up. If you do have the muscle up, we talked about the different ways to get up and back down quickly and efficiently for building strength or for speed and keeping your endurance. Really, it's up to you. I recommend trying all of them as possible. If you can only do chicken wing, get as many chicken wings as you can. Try to hold that chicken wing position as long as you can. You want to make yourself stronger? Don't pull yourself so close on your chicken wing. Maybe start an inch further away or 2 inches further away and build that strength. Remember, you're only going to get stronger when you push yourself past what your body is normally used to. And that usually takes a few weeks of everyday practice. 10 or 15 minutes a day, every day for 3 weeks will make a complete change in your body and your capabilities. So don't just give up after it becomes a little difficult. Keep practicing, keep trying. Make it a little harder every time you start to feel like, I get it. This feels normal and easy now. Make it a little more difficult. That way you're always progressing. From that, I love all your beautiful faces. Remember what we learned last week, the week before this, which would be last week. That made a lot of sense. Thanks for clarifying, Justin. Jumping to our cat or our half cat position. What I really recommend is jump to your half cat, put it in a position where you know you're gonna slip after you've practiced what we did this week, and practice dropping down to that cat using the techniques we learned here today. Maybe you jump to your cat position. As soon as you land, try to drive that knee and drive yourself up and practice your muscle up or your chicken wing up. Start to do it for speed. See how long it takes you. How many can you do in a row? A really fun game we like to play is start in your cat position, climb up until you're either in your front support or until you mount and stand on the object. Go back down again as quick as you can. See how many of those in a row you can do. Have a little bit of fun. Give yourself 1 minute. How many times can you go from a cat to a half cat? Straight arms, back down to a cat with straight arms, and test yourself. There's a group called Apex. They have 5 gyms across the United States. Very cool group with a very cool mentality on how to teach parkour. And one of the tests that they do to see for their more advanced students is you start on a vertical wall, straight arms, and you have to see how quickly you can muscle up and pop, touch both feet on top of the wall, drop back down to a cat position with straight arms. You do 5 of them in a row. The 5th time that you mount the wall, they stop your time to see how quickly you did it. I remember I did this in a little training competition with like 25 or 30 people. And I thought I was kicking butt because I did it in like 12 and a half, 13 seconds. And I was like, yeah, it's like 2.5 seconds per like up and down per muscle up. I'm feeling pretty good about myself. Yeah, until the owner of Apex did it in like 10.2 seconds, and then I felt like a piece of crap. So, as always, keep training. You can only get better. All right, guys, this is the part where I do a little rhyme, a little rap, a little ratty, tat, tat. I'm here at the gym. We're not gonna swim because we don't have a pool. And I don't know where I'm going with this, and I'm sounding like a fool. I'm just running in there, arms up like I don't care. So put something in the comments about this or other things or whatever so I can read them and then I can feel special, like when I used to do tutorials for Strength Project. Oh yeah! Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Thank you.
Nothing to do with like
It had nothing to do with anything. I don't know what I'm doing.